After DeMarcus Cousins signed with the Warriors, this might actually be a good idea. But in all seriousness, I feel like there's a lot of interesting scenarios with this. I feel like the league would just be completely wide open. And a question I have for you guys, I actually want you to leave in the comments down below, is if the NBA did restart and do a fantasy draft, who would you take #1 overall? Would you go with LeBron James, who's the best player in the NBA, but may only have like 3 or 4 years left? Or would you go with somebody younger like Anthony Davis? Now, to see what would happen if the NBA did restart and have a fantasy draft, I'm going to go into my league. We are going to turn the fantasy draft on. And another change I want to make is I want to shut off injuries. I don't want to see, like, you know, Steph Curry or LeBron James, somebody like that, get injured and end up missing the whole season. Now, I will actually be selecting a team. I will be drafting for them. I'll be doing trades for them. We're going to see if we can actually win the championship. I say we go with the Orlando Magic. That's a team I'd like to see do well. We must have had one of the first picks because we're already on the clock. The Pelicans had the #1 pick. They end up going LeBron James. The Bucks had #2. They end up picking Kevin Durant. And we got the 3rd pick. Who do we want to build our team around? James Harden and Steph Curry are the highest overalls here. Kawhi Leonard, he won Finals MVP. We know what this man can do. Steph Curry's obviously been there plenty of times before. We got Giannis, who's probably might be the best young player in the league at 22. But I kind of want to go Anthony Davis. I feel like building around the big guy would be the smart thing to do. This isn't me saying Anthony Davis is better than these players right here, or that I would actually pick him if the NBA did restart today. But for this simulation, I'm going to go with Anthony Davis. Let's see if we can get him to the finals. We'll actually watch the first round. So Kawhi Leonard went #4, Giannis went 5, Harden went 6, Curry went 7, Kyrie went 8 to the Bulls, Karl Anthony Towns. That would have been an interesting pick. The Lakers are going to go Westbrook, Chris Paul to the Spurs, Boogie went to the Trailblazers. We got Porzingis, Embiid, Jokic, Damian Lillard, Ben Simmons went to the Thunder. We got Klay Thompson, DeRozan, Jimmy Butler. To think the Warriors had 4 players picked in the first 18 selections, and plus Draymond Green's still there. Paul George went to the Hawks, so Marcus Aldridge, Andre Drummond. There is Draymond Green. So the Warriors' whole starting lineup actually got picked in the first round. I feel like the good thing about picking Anthony Davis is there's a bunch of guards available. I actually really like Drew Holiday. I would probably pick him, but since we got Anthony Davis and I kind of want to, like, you know, mix up the teams, I say we go Mike Conley. I feel like that's the pick here. And plus, we're only doing this for 1 season, so I feel like that does make sense. We could just go best player available and select Lou Williams, and like we'd probably have the best bench in the league with him as 6th man. I'm also almost tempted to pick Melo. If this was a real life draft, then I would completely stay away from Carmelo, period. Let's have some fun with it. We're gonna go with Carmelo, and we'll see if we can get him and Anthony Davis to the finals. I say we go with a 3 and D type player. So we could go shooting guard, JJ Redick. You know, he's got the 3. I just don't know if he's got the D. That sounded extremely bad. I'm talking about defense. I think I'm going to end up choosing between Joe Ingles or Robert Covington. Both of them do exactly what I'm looking for. Robert Covington is probably more athletic. Ingles is just like, he's one of those players, if he's not on your team, you just like absolutely hate him. But if he is on your team, you actually like him because he's just annoying for other players. I'm actually going to go Ingles here. I feel like that's a better fit for Anthony Davis because, you know, defenses are going to be collapsing. So we want somebody that he can, you know, pass it out to and can hit the open 3. I want to go with the big man for this next pick. Kenneth Faried. Maybe he could fit well. Thaddeus Young, Elliott. No, I don't want any of those guys. And for center, we got Brook Lopez. I say we actually go with him. I know he's got a huge contract, but like that doesn't matter because we're only simulating through 1 year. I feel like this is an obvious choice. Patrick Beverley is like somebody I want on my team. Him and Joe Ingles are about to just be causing havoc. Gallinari, he could be all right. Chandler Parsons. I'm almost tempted to go Parsons here. If we can get like anything, like if he's anything like his old self, probably be one of the best bench players in the league. We're also on pace to have like the biggest team salary in NBA history. This is something even the Oklahoma City Thunder would be jealous of. I feel like our team turned out extremely well. Like I'd be surprised if there's a team in the league that's deeper than us. So we got Mike Conley at point guard. We got Carmelo at shoot. Actually, let's switch that. We'll put Ingles at shooting guard, Carmelo at small forward, Anthony Davis at power forward. Then we got Brook Lopez at center. Coming off the bench, our bench I feel like is crazy. We got Patrick Beverley, we got Ginobili, Evan Turner, we got Chandler Parsons, and we got Baines. But then we got really good reserves as well. We got Kyle Korver, we got Mahinmi, We got Vince Carter, and then we actually got Corey Brewer as well. Vince Carter was actually there in the last round, so we're going to see if we can get him a championship as well. I'm not going to go through every team, but let's see if there's like any teams that stand out. Mavericks got Oladipo, Tatum, Favors, Porzingis, Valanciunas, Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker. Got Aldridge, McCollum, Lonzo Ball, Noel. The team could be all right. LeBron went to the Pelicans #1. They got Murray, Marcus Smart. This team's not looking bad, especially when it comes to like 2K standards. John Wall, Blake Griffin, Dwayne Wade, Cauley Stein, Batum. The Spurs definitely know how to draft. I feel like this team right here could make some noise. Suns are looking all right. They got Giannis, Cantor, Jaylen Brown, Rozier, Jordan Clarkson. I didn't even realize that. Steph Curry's back on the Warriors. He's got Dwight Howard, Levine, Thaddeus Young, and Jonathan Isaac. Like I said at the beginning, I feel like the league is just going to be wide open for everybody. We are going to start simulating. I'm going to simulate to the trade deadline. So if I want to make like, any trades, which we might have to because we just started off the season 0-3. After looking at the rosters, I thought we had one of the better teams in the league, but I guess not. We just went on the biggest losing streak ever. Our team is just... I don't understand how we're this bad. Maybe I'm just horrible at drafting. We win 3 games in a row. I feel like we're starting to do things, and then we lose 4 in a row. We have made it to the trade deadline. Right now, we are sitting at an awful 21-30. The only good thing is the Eastern Conference doesn't appear to be that good. The Bulls are actually the 8th seed at 25-27. So I guess some things don't change. The East isn't very good again. Philly's the best team in the Eastern Conference. Who they got on their team? Let's take a look. They got Dragic, Jonathan Simmons, Josh Jackson, Chris Bosh. Apparently he's back. They got Jokic at center, Batum. So yeah, I mean, that team, it looks all right. I feel like if we actually snuck into the 8th seed, we could, possibly upset them. And then in the Western Conference, we got the Lakers. They got Westbrook, Tony Allen, Rudy Gay, Paul Millsap, and Whiteside. And then the T-Wolves are actually right behind them. They got Jeff Teague, Jimmy Butler, Hollis Jefferson, Maricic, and Steven Adams. We'll take a look at the stats, see if we can figure anything out. So Anthony Davis, he's averaging a double-double. Carmelo's averaging 20. Mike Conley's averaging about 16 and 7, which is pretty good. Brook Lopez, he's averaging 12 and about 6. Ingles, he's averaging 8. He's rebounding, he's passing the ball. He's averaging over a steal a game, which is pretty much what we want him to do. Parsons, he is our leading scorer off the bench. Patrick Beverley, Ginobili. I'm kind of surprised we're this bad. I guess I'll go into Trade Finder to see if we can, figure something out. This is a really interesting trade. So I put Brook Lopez in the Trade Finder and actually found some pretty good deals. And then I actually threw in my first round pick as well, which won't matter because we're not actually simulating in the next season. Now, they're probably doing this for the draft pick. I'm trying to win this year, so we're actually going to do it. We aren't going to make any more trades, so I am going to simulate to the rest of the season. I feel like DeAndre Jordan should at least get us into the playoffs. It'll be interesting. We're back on a win streak. That's 4 in a row. Make it 5 in a row. So we are the 8th seed. Make it the 7th seed. We're just killing it right now. Now it's not even about making the playoffs. It's about possibly getting home court. The season did end up finishing. I want to say we may have won the division and got the 4th seed. We're about to find out. Steph Curry, he got MVP. Ben Simmons, he won Rookie of the Year. Chris Dunn, who's actually on the same team as Ben Simmons, he won 6th Man of the Year. Kawhi Leonard got Defensive Player of the Year. And Chris Dunn won another award, Most Improved Player of the Year. And it looks like the Warriors are still the best team in the league because Steve Kerr got Coach of the Year. We did end up getting the 4th seed. We're taking on the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. I'm kind of curious who's on their team. It looks like they got Dennis Schroeder, Seth Curry, Cephalosha, Porzingis, Valanciunas, Tim Hardaway Jr., and they got some decent bench players, but I feel like we should just destroy their backcourt. So we're going to simulate the current round, and yeah, we end up winning 4-1 against the Brooklyn Nets. That means we're taking on the #1 seeded Indiana Pacers. They got Lonzo Ball, CJ McCollum, CJ Miles, Marcus Aldridge, Pau Gasol, Nerlens Noel. Yeah, this team's pretty good. They also got Moutier at the end of their bench. This is definitely going to be a lot tougher matchup. We'll see what happens. And we end up beating them in 5 games as well, which means we are 1 game away from the championship. We are playing the 7th seed Hawks. There's no way these guys should beat us. I mean, I don't know who's on their team, but I'm just saying, I feel like they shouldn't beat us. They got Brandon Knight, Will Barton, Paul George, Jabari Parker, Dwayne Dedman, Alan Crabb, J.R. Smith. I feel like we should make the finals. We'll see what happens. Moment of truth, we're going to sim the round, and again, we beat them in 5 games. And even when the NBA starts over and has a fantasy draft, the Golden State Warriors are still in the championship. I guess some things never change. We actually looked at their roster at like the halfway point in the season. They have Steph Curry, Levine, Isaac, Thaddeus Young, Dwight Howard, and they got a pretty good bench as well. So this will be interesting. We're going to simulate this one game at a time. They do have home court, and they are going to win game number 1. I'm kind of curious what the score was. They beat us by 6. Looks like it was a pretty good game. We're going to sim game number 2. We're going to end up stealing that one. We end up beating them by 25. Anthony Davis struggled, but everyone else stepped up. Mike Conley had a huge game. DeAndre Jordan, 18 and 12. The Warriors end up crushing us in game number 3. I feel like this is a must-win for us. And they end up beating us by 1? Are you kidding me? We blew a 12-point lead in the 4th quarter. I'm going to need Anthony Davis to step up. He's been struggling so far, 5 of 17. I guess we're going to find out if Warriors blow another 3-1 lead in the finals. We are going to end up winning game number 5, so we're kind of back into it. It's do or die at this point. We are going to end up winning game number 6. Since this is game 7 of the NBA Finals, I'm actually going to use Simcast to do this one. We're just going back and forth so far. It looks like we were actually tied. Yeah, we were tied at halftime. So far in the 3rd quarter, Warriors are starting to pull away. Come on, boys, we got this. I kind of want to look at the box score. We're still in the 3rd quarter. Warriors are still up. There's a lot of offense in this one. We're starting to make a comeback. It just seems like we can't get over this hump. The Warriors are, we're tied. Now we got the lead. There's 4 minutes left. How do I stop this? Oh no, they retook the lead. They're up by 6. Anthony Davis is finally going off. He's got 27 points, 13 rebounds. Carmelo's got 22. Patrick Beverley is having the game of his life, but Steph Curry has 40 points. Oh my gosh. Somehow this dude has 11 free throws, and he hasn't missed. Pretty much their whole team hasn't missed a free throw. They've attempted way more than us. This might be rigged. The NBA might be rigged for the Warriors. Unless we can pull off some type of miracle comeback, I don't think we're going to win this one. But let's see what happens. And, okay, we're kind of cutting it down. We end up losing by 4. Oh my, Curry finished with 40. Even when the NBA restarts, the Golden State Warriors still win the NBA Finals.